2 weeks ago, my wife, Helen, packed her bags to visit our daughter and son-in-law in another city. She said she wanted to help them settle into their new home and spend time with our first grandchild, who was due soon. I couldn't say no. She'd been looking forward to it for months. Still, the house felt empty without her laughter echoing through it. For the first few days, we talked every evening. She told me about the baby room, the late-night cravings, and how proud she was of our daughter for handling everything so gracefully. But as the days passed, her calls became shorter, her messages less frequent. "Everything okay?" I'd ask, and she'd always say, "Yes, just busy helping around." One morning, I woke up and decided I missed them too much. Retirement had given me too much free time and too many quiet mornings. I thought, why not surprise them? It would be a nice weekend drive, and I'd get to see my family. I imagined Helen's face lighting up when she opened the door. So I packed a small bag, bought a few gifts for my daughter and her husband, and set out early the next day. The drive was peaceful, long stretches of open road and the soft hum of the radio. I kept picturing my daughter's expression when she saw me standing at her doorstep, unannounced but smiling. When I arrived, I parked down the street to keep the surprise intact. Their lights were on, and laughter drifted out through the open window. I felt warm inside. I walked up to the door and knocked softly. After a few seconds, my son-in-law opened the door. His expression surprised, almost startled. "Dad, what are you doing here?" he asked, trying to sound casual. Before I could answer, I heard a voice from inside. It was Helen's, but she sounded upset. I stepped inside and found her sitting at the table, red-eyed, a box of tissues beside her. My daughter was next to her, rubbing her back. The cheerful scene I had imagined vanished instantly. "What's going on?" I asked quietly. Helen looked up at me, her lips trembling. "It's Mom," my daughter said softly. "She didn't want to worry you, but the doctor found something in her last checkup, nothing too serious, but she's been scared." I froze. "You didn't tell me?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. Helen wiped her eyes and said, "I didn't want to make you anxious. You've been enjoying your retirement, and I thought I could handle it myself." I sat beside her and took her hand. "Helen," I said gently, "we've faced everything together. Why would you ever think I'd want you to face something like this alone?" Tears rolled down her cheeks as she leaned against me. "I just didn't want you to see me weak," she whispered. "I wanted to be strong for everyone." For a moment, no one spoke. My daughter placed her hand on her mother's shoulder, and my son-in-law quietly stepped out to give us space. I realized that the surprise I had planned wasn't about me showing up, it was about me being there, truly present, when my family needed me most. We spent that evening talking openly, about fear, love, and all the things we keep hidden thinking we're protecting each other. It turned out her condition was treatable, and she had already begun the process. Still, she admitted she felt better finally sharing it. That night, we stayed up late, laughing and telling stories from our early years. For the first time in a while, it felt like life had slowed down just enough for us to appreciate each heartbeat, each smile. The next morning, as the sun lit the room, Helen looked at me and said, "Maybe it's good you showed up when you did." I smiled and replied, "Maybe I didn't surprise you, maybe life did." And in that quiet house, filled with love and relief, I realized that sometimes the best surprises are the ones that remind us what truly matters, being there when we're needed most, not just when it's easy.